Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're starting your journey in Java programming, then this video is for you. Today we will understand the most important Java concepts that every beginner should know. In this video, we will learn what is Java, why Java is platform independent, what is bytecode, what is JVM, what is object-oriented programming, and what are class and objects, and what are states and behaviors. By the end of this video, you will have a strong foundation in Java programming. Let's begin the video. What is Java? Java is a high level object oriented platform independent programming language. So let me tell you clearly. What is Java? Java is a high level object oriented platform independent programming language. So in the definition, you can see high level. Java is a high level. As I told you in the past videos, high level means basically it's starting like used to have machine level language, that is binary zeros and ones that human could not understand. So later assembly level language was introduced. That was also difficult to remember. And then later high level language was introduced. That is high level language means human readable and human understandable language. So Java is a high level and then object oriented. Object oriented. So Java is a high level. Java is a high level. And next, object oriented. So let me tell you what object oriented is exactly in this video, but later. Okay. Java is a high level object oriented. And next, platform independent. As I told you in the past videos, what is platform independent? Platform independent is nothing but if any application if any application is developed on like example, take it is developed on the Windows platform, then it should be able to run on other platforms also. So if I have developed any application on Windows, so it should be able to run on the other platforms like Linux and Mac or Android, anything. So basically, what is Java? Java is a high level object oriented platform independent programming language. So this is Java. What is Java? So you can answer it in the interviews like Java is a high level object oriented platform independent programming language. In this, you understood what is high level, what you understood what is platform independent. Let me tell you what is object oriented later. Okay. Next. So this is about Java definition. Next. Who introduced this Java? So late in like around 1995, James Gosling, who was working in the Sun Microsystems company, he introduced this Java in 1995. But later, this Sun Microsystems was acquired by Oracle Corporation. So in 2010, Oracle Corporation owned this Java. So Java is one of the most popular programming languages because it can be used to develop web applications, mobile applications, desktop applications, enterprise applications, cloud based applications. We have many applications. So, one of the biggest advantages of Java is VORA, that is write once, run everywhere. This means we can write a Java program once and run it on different operating systems without changing the code. So, this is about the Java definition and how it was introduced. So, why this Java is platform is independent? So as I told you, most programming languages are platform dependent. For example, if a program is compiled for Windows, it may not run directly on Linux. So Java solves this problem using the bytecode and JVM. So let's understand the execution process. As I told you in the past video, so there will be we'll be having the Java source code, and then after source code, this Java compiler will convert the source code into the bytecode. Right? Bytecode is not the actual machine code. So JVM comes into the scenario. So this JVM, Java Virtual Machine, will convert that bytecode into the machine code. So the operating system executes the machine code. So this process makes the Java platform independent. So why the Java platform is independent? This because of this process. Okay. What is JVM? JVM, I told you, Java Virtual Machine. Because why it is used? Why Java, JVM is used to convert the bytecode into the machine code. Okay, it basically it converts the bytecode into a machine code that the operating system can understand. It is basically software that provides an environment to execute the Java programs. See what is object oriented. So I have told you about the high level and platform independent. What is object oriented? We'll see now. So basically, Java follows object oriented programming, commonly known as OOPS. So in OOPS, everything is represented in the form of objects. So basically, you consider an example world. Okay, World is a collection of objects. So you are a human object, I am a human object. Take like us like take an example of a room. So whatever you see, it is an object, right? So you take a mirror, you take a charger, you take a phone, you take like human as an object. So everything around you is an object, right? So total world is a collection of objects. So like still object, like student, teacher, car, mobile phone, employee. So everything, whatever you consider, so in this world, everything is an object. So world is collection of objects. So each of this can be represented as an object. So OOPS helps developers create the reusable, secure and organized code. So next we'll see what is a class and what is an object. Tell you about what is a class and what is a object. So class is a blueprint, guys. It is used to create the objects. For example, think about building a house. So before constructing a house, we need a design or blueprint, right? So basically, we design or blueprint before building a house. We cannot directly build a house, right? We cannot directly build a house. Let me, for example, okay, this is a house. Okay, as I told you, everything in this world is a collection of objects. So even house is an object. So before constructing an house, we need a design or a blueprint, right? Without design or a blueprint, we cannot directly construct a house. So similarly, before creating objects, we need a class. So it is basically an example given. So we need a design or a blueprint before creating the objects. Either it may be anything. Okay. So a class is a logical entity that contains like both properties and the methods. So example here, take an example of a student. Okay, student is a class. Okay, name and age are properties. A class itself does not occupy the memory for the objects, so it only provides the structure. So class is a blueprint. Class is a logical entity that is a design or a blueprint that is not physically existing. So just it's a design or a blueprint. So multiple objects can be created from one class. So example, take a classroom. Okay, in classroom we have around 20 to 30 chairs. Okay, to create one chair, there is no like we can there is no a need of 20 blueprints, right? So if we take a one blueprint or one design for to design a chair, if you take one blueprint, it's enough to create the 20 chairs. So there is no required to take one blueprint for one chair or another blueprint for another chair. So if it is one blueprint is enough for creating 20 similar multiple chairs. Okay. So basically multiple objects can be created from one blueprint or one class. So class is a non-primitive data type. What is an object? So as I told you, class is a blueprint or a design, or it is just a logical entity, guys. It's not existing in the physical world. So now what is object? So object is a instance of a class. So what is class? So class is just a blueprint. Okay. Class is just a blueprint, as I told you. What is object? Object is the instance of a class, that is physical existence of a class. Physical existence of a class. Okay, as I told you, example of a building. So just this is what a design or a blueprint. Okay, but if we construct a building, then that will be the object. Okay, in the real world, if we construct a building, then that will be the object. This here what I draw is just a blueprint or a design, that is class. But when it will become the object, when I construct a building, then that will be the object, that is physical existence of a class or instance of a class basically. So it is real world physical entity. Okay, if for example, if another example, if a student is a class, then Rahul, Priya, Mamata, etc. can be student. These are all students, but these are all can be objects. Okay, if student is a class, then Rahul, Priya, Mamata, Vignesh can be objects. So okay, objects occupy memory and can store data. So every object is independent. Creating or deleting one object does not affect the other object. For example, if you take a classroom, if I destroy or create one chair, then it does not impact the another chair, right? So similar, like creating or deleting one object does not affect the another object. Every object is independent, just like one chair in classroom can be removed without affecting the other chairs. From this, what we need to know, without class there is no existence of an object. It may be anything. So without the design or blueprint we cannot create the, like we cannot construct the building, and without the design of a marker we cannot create the marker. So it may be anything. Without class there is no existence of an object. Now object has two components, guys. What are those two components? I'll tell you. So object has two components. Okay, what are those two components? That is state and behavior. So what is the states and behavior? I'll tell you. So first component is what? States, and next component is what? Behavior. So what is state? So basically state means information or data, or it might be properties of an object. Okay, or it might be properties of an object. So what is it? Information or data or or properties, guys, or properties. From the name properties and from the name information data, I think you might already have an you might have an idea. I'll tell you what is state. So states means information or data or properties. So they are technically called as data members. Okay, take an example. I'll give an example, then you'll clearly understand. So take an example of human. Okay, human. So human as two things. Okay, I'll tell you human as, okay, human as two things. Okay, human as what? So how will you identify? If I give an example, so how will you identify a human? So by his name, right? So okay, 1 minute, guys. Sorry. Okay. So human as, so how will you identify a human? Basically by his name. Okay. By his name, by age, by contact, by email ID, next by Aadhaar number. So these are all identification details to identify a human. So every human being will be having unique name, age, contact, email, Aadhaar number. So next human as name, age, contact, email, and Aadhaar number. And what does human do? Basically, human, what does he do? Functions. Basically, will eat, right? So eating, and then sleeping, and then walking, and then what all functionalities does a human being do? Eating, sleeping, walking, writing, reading. So we have many functions, right? We have many functions that human being does. So we do actually eating, sleeping, walking, writing, reading, next dancing. So we have many functions, right? We do many functions. So basically, human as name, age, contact, email, Aadhaar number, and does what? Eating, sleeping, walking, writing, reading, dancing. So I'll tell you why I've given this example. So basically, I told you what is state. State is a information or a data or properties. So I have given you the example of human. So human as name, age, height, weight, email, contact, Aadhaar number, as I told you. So these are the states or properties of a human being. So take an example of other example I'll give you. For example, dog. So take an example of dog. So for dog, what all properties we can have, and what all behaviors we can have. So I didn't tell you what is a behavior, right? So basically, what is state? State is the information or data or the properties. I'll give you the definition of behavior also. So behavior. So what is behavior? Behavior is nothing but like actions performed by the object. Actions performed by the object. Actions performed by the object. Okay. Okay, guys, give me 1 minute. Okay, actions performed by the object. So basically, as I told you, object has two components, state and behavior. What is state? State is nothing but information or a data or properties. Next, what is behavior? Behavior is nothing but the actions performed by the object. So as I told you, every object, either it may be human. I'll first write like dog. Dog as what? Like what it has? Dog has some properties, right? Like data or information you take. So dog has, like, how will you identify dog? Like it's according to its breed, right? How will you identify dog? Breed. So according to breed, and next color, next gender. So we have many things, and next weight, height. So you take anything. So these are the unique identification details to identify a dog. And next, dog has this. properties. And next, what dog does? So what basically dog does? Dog does barking, right? Dog does barking, and it smells, right? Smelling, and next eating, and next sleeping. So these are the behaviors that dog does. So whatever example you take, either it might be human, either it might be dog, either it might be bank customer, or any object you take. So object has two components, that is states and the behaviors. States are basically the information or the data or the properties, and the behaviors are basically the actions performed by the object. So in this human example, states are, that is properties are what? Name, age, contact, email, and Aadhaar number. And what are the behaviors of a human? Like it is basically actions performed by the object, that is eating, sleeping, walking, writing, reading, and dancing. The next example of dog, what are the properties or states? That is breed, color, gender, weight, to uniquely identify the dog. And what are the behaviors? That is actions performed by the dog, that is barking, smelling, eating, sleeping. So whatever object you consider, it has two components, that is states and the behaviors. Okay, so these are the two examples that I have given. So you take any example, it will be having both states, or that is properties, and the behaviors, that are the actions performed by the object. It will be having two components. So every object will be having two components. Okay, so this is about what? Class, object, and the two components of the object, that is states and the behaviors. So let me quickly revise. That is, Java is a high level object oriented programming language, and Java is a platform independent because bytecode and JVM. JVM converts what? Bytecode into machine code. And next, what is a class? So class is a blueprint. It is used to create the objects. And what is an object? It is basically physical existence or instance of a class. So every object has two components, that is state and behavior. So what is state? That is properties like name, age, contact, email, and Aadhaar number. And what are the behaviors? That is actions performed by the object, that is human, do eating, sleeping, walking, writing, reading, and dancing. So thank you guys. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye. Happy coding.